So let's be real. Is your to-do list a mile long, but you can't seem to focus for more than like 5 minutes at a time? Trust me, you are not alone. Today, we're not just going to talk about productivity, we are going to build a powerful digital toolkit with 4 essential tools that are designed to help you reclaim your attention and finally master your focus. Let's get into it. Yeah, if that question hits a little too close to home, just know that this is a universal challenge now. It doesn't matter if you're a student drowning in textbooks, a professional staring down a deadline, or a freelancer juggling 5 projects at once, the modern world is basically designed to shatter our concentration. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll look the productivity challenge right in the eye. Then, we're going to build our toolkit, piece by piece. We'll lay the foundation with a to-do list, fire up the engine with the Pomodoro technique, raise our shield with a distraction blocker, and cast an idea net with a great note-taking app. And at the end, we'll see how it all just clicks together into one awesome system. Okay, so before we start grabbing our tools, let's get super clear on the problem we're actually trying to solve here. Here's the thing. Your motivation, it's a fickle friend. It shows up when it wants to and disappears without warning. So if you only work when you feel like it, you're building your whole career on shaky ground. A system, on the other hand, well, a good system is like a well-oiled machine. It works every single time, no matter what your mood is. And that's exactly what we're building today. Every great structure needs a solid foundation, right? Well, for our productivity system, that foundation is the humble, but believe me, incredibly powerful to-do list. You know, there's some real psychology going on here. It's something called the Zeigarnik effect. Our brains are actually hardwired to remember unfinished tasks way better than finished ones. So by writing things down, you get them out of your head, which frees up so much brain power. And let's be honest, that feeling of checking an item off a list, that little dopamine hit is an amazing reward that keeps you going. Okay, so what's the right tool for the job? If you're just starting out, or you have pretty simple tasks like buy milk or email Bob, an app called Todoist is fantastic. It's got this simple, clean interface that helps you build the habit without it feeling like a chore. But if you're a freelancer juggling multiple clients or a student managing a huge project, you might be ready for the next level. And that's where I highly recommend an app called TickTick. So why TickTick? It's all about the details. You can set tasks to repeat, you can break huge projects into tiny little subtasks, and it all syncs perfectly across your phone and computer. It has a great free version, but there is one standout feature, one thing that makes it the absolute core of the entire system we're building. And there it is. TickTick has a built-in Pomodoro timer. Now, this is absolutely brilliant because it seamlessly connects your task list with how you're going to do the work. You don't need a separate app, you don't need a separate timer. You just pick a task from your list, hit a button, and the focus timer is right there. This is a perfect example of how our tools start working together, and it leads us right into our next component. Okay, let's talk about the engine of our system. We have our list of destinations, those are our tasks. Now we need the engine to actually get us there. And that engine is the famous Pomodoro technique. The real power of Pomodoro is just how simple it is. It fights that feeling of being overwhelmed by making 2 key decisions for you: what to work on and for how long. And 25 minutes? That is the sweet spot. It's short enough that you can convince yourself to start pretty much anything, but it's also long enough to make real, actual progress before that timer dings. The process couldn't be easier. You work with intense focus for 25 minutes. Then you take a 5-minute break. Get up, stretch, grab some water, just stare out the window. Let your brain reset. You repeat this cycle 4 times, and after that 4th session, you reward yourself with a longer break, maybe 15 to 30 minutes. It's a rhythm that really prevents burnout and keeps your mind sharp. Okay, so we have our tasks, our engine is running, but now we have to protect our focus from the #1 enemy of productivity, all those online distractions. It is time to raise the shield. So a distraction blocker is just a simple little browser extension where you list your biggest time-wasting websites. You know the ones. When you start a focus session, it just blocks them. But the real genius here is how perfectly it syncs up with the Pomodoro technique. By default, it's set to block those sites for 25 minutes, and then, and this is key, it unblocks them for your 5-minute break. It's like an automated focus bubble. So, what happens when a brilliant but totally unrelated idea pops into your head right in the middle of a focus session? You don't want to lose it, but you also don't want it to completely derail you. This is where we need our 4th tool, the idea net. And for that, we have Google Keep. Think of it as your digital junk drawer, or maybe a net for capturing all those random thoughts, grocery items, and midnight ideas that are important, but they're not formal tasks. This keeps your main to-do list in TickTick clean and actionable, while making sure no great idea ever slips away. Google Keep is just so versatile. You can color code your notes, use labels to group ideas by project, you can even add pictures. But its absolute best feature, in my opinion, is the shared checklists. You can create a packing list with a friend for an upcoming trip, and when they add something, it pops up on your phone in real time. It's just simple, effective collaboration. All right, we've gathered all our tools. Now, let's take a step back for a second and see how they all connect to form a single, powerful, and totally cohesive productivity system. So here's how it all comes together. TickTick is there to organize what you need to do. The Pomodoro technique manages how you're going to do it in these focus sprints. The blocker protects that focus from all the noise, and Google Keep captures everything else so your mind stays clear and on task. See how they all have a job? You can have the best car in the world, right? But it's not going anywhere unless you have the key to start the engine. Well, for our productivity system, that key, that final, absolutely crucial ingredient, is the deadline. Without it, tasks have this nasty habit of expanding to fill up all the time you give them. I absolutely love this quote from Napoleon Hill: "A goal is a dream with a deadline." Think about that. Without a deadline, a goal is just, well, it's a vague wish, isn't it? But the moment you assign a specific date to it in TickTick, something in your brain just shifts. It becomes a real, concrete target. It creates this healthy sense of urgency that really lights a fire under you to get going. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this question. Think about a goal you have. It could be big, it could be small. Using the tools we've just put together, what's one dream that you are finally going to give a deadline to? Thanks for joining me for this explainer.